Can you guys please roast me in 6 words or less in the comment section below? I need a bunch of fake comments for my next video, but I'm too iconic to get any real ones. And you kind of went off. A lot. Little did they know that I needed these comments for a very specific reason. So using this comment as an example of how to create art brushes in Photoshop, I'm just going to take the comment, invert the colors, and delete the background. Then from here it's just edit, define brush preset, and bam, our first brush. Your art looks photoshopped. It's almost midnight. This is going to be fun. So for the background of this self-portrait, I think I'm just going to go in with a few broad strokes of get demonetized, which is sort of the equivalent of losing my job, even though I'm still coming into work. So yeah, let's not get demonetized. So for more background shade, we're going to go in with a little bit of TBH, your art is kind of ugly, which how? I'm literally painting myself right now. There's no way that this would turn out anything but stunning. So I think this is an okay background for now. So let's go ahead and block in my face with smooth-faced 40-year-old. So, random fact of the day, I am not 40. And I'm not 14 either. Actually, I googled myself the other day. I say the other day like I don't Google myself every day, but I saw that one of the things that people were searching for was D'Angelo Wallace age. So apparently people are wondering. So maybe I should just clear this up once and for all. Alright, here's the family-friendly T. I'm so sorry. I was born in 1998. I'm currently 20 years old. My birthday is August 29th. And I was born in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I grew up in Texas, where I still live to this day. Also, my birth sign is Leo, so someone just put this information up on famous birthdays, that way I don't have to keep answering it every single video. And when you make the famous birthdays post, use this picture. I like this picture. Next, we're using too lazy to be funny. And we'll follow that up with a bit of sarcasm isn't comedy, which I guess could be considered true. I mean, I know I, for one, have never laughed at anything sarcastic ever in my entire life. Then again, I, for one, have never laughed at anything in my entire life, so I may not be the best judge. Next, we have small channel, big ego. I mean, compared to someone like Draw with Jazza, I guess the amount of subs I have could be considered small, but that's just relative. I think I have a pretty great group of people watching my videos. And as for my ego, I'm sure from an outside perspective it could be seen as pretty large, but again, I think that's relative. I, for one, think I'm pretty great, so the ego just kind of matches. If anything, it might even be considered small. Now this brush is called This Kid Got a Serious God Complex. First of all, that's more than 6 words. Secondly, what about it? It's not so much that I think I'm God, it's just that when God made me, he kind of snapped. Like, he low-key went off. He did that. I am it, chief. Next, let's do the mouth area with a bit of you sound dead like your channel, which I think is pretty fitting for a mouth. Then we'll follow that up with you're better at emotions than art. Clever. Too dead inside to entertain us. But you're still watching, huh? Please don't stop. I'm gonna detail the forehead a bit with more ad breaks than brain cells. I mean, at least I have enough brain cells to know how to spell the word ad, which is literally 2 letters. Sounds like he thinks vaporwave is popular.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
I thought you were an artist. Me too. But apparently I am faker than digital art. So, man, if only I could tell you how fake some of the YouTubers in the art community are. Especially me. Next, let me block in the eye area with your art bad. Then we have the classic I'm only 10, but you are art is bad. That was a roller coaster. You aren't a real artist. Well, that's kind of problematic because art is my only redeeming quality. Here we have, do you even traditional art, bro? A comment which I am literally turning into digital art. So I think that sort of answers the question. Why do you make videos? You know what? I don't appreciate how existential this is getting. Let's move on to some brushes that are less textured. Siri has more emotions than you. Yes, well, does Siri have legs? Me neither. All I'm saying is, have you ever seen Siri and I in the same room at the same time? Bob Ross would call you an accident. Bob Ross isn't my dad, silly. Though I can see why you would think that. Being self-aware isn't necessarily funny. I'm aware. You're honestly a human Squidward. You know, the more I think about this one, the more sense it makes, so I'm just going to choose not to think about it. You scare anti-vax parents. Yeah, I don't really think my parents are afraid of me. I don't know what reason they would really have to be afraid. You definitely wear sandals with socks. Definitely don't. I hope your sock gets wet. That's oddly specific. Your mustache looks like Michael Cera's. You're kind of late. I don't have a mustache anymore. I kind of wish my bank account looked like Michael Cera's though. Mood lighting compensating for no emotions? You say that, but your default profile picture matches my mood lighting, so who's compensating for what? I don't remember subscribing to you. Don't think about it too deeply. Who even is this guy? LOL. Okay, the funny thing is, I actually get a pretty decent amount of followers just from posting random out of context stuff on my community tab. And then people are like, what is this? Until they check my channel and then they subscribe. So it's a conspiracy. Too iconic or too irrelevant? At this stage in my life, I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, if iconic is right here and irrelevant is right here, then I'm somewhere in the middle. But I'm just like way closer to iconic. Monotonous, boring, basically brain dead. We're supposed to be talking about me. Don't be one of those people who makes everything about yourself. Said the YouTuber. Pretending that nihilistic dread is a personality trait doesn't make you funny. I would risk your actual personality, but I was unable to find it. Okay, first of all, that was a lot more than 6 words. Secondly, you don't really need a personality to become a YouTuber. You probably do need to be able to count to 6 though, and which one of us can do that? Your voice is deeper than one of those edgy Tumblr posts. Well, you know it's not that deep. Counting to 6. Considers yourself an art account, has more content about spilling tea on other YouTubers than actual art, an art channel, talking about artists and things that happen in the art community. It's just about as rare as a YouTube commenter who can count to 6 because that's more than 6 words. When you talk, you sound more depressed than an entire generation. You know, I don't really know what generation I'm a part of. I'm so old that everybody holds me responsible for all of my decisions, but I'm so young that people invalidate all of my decisions because of my age. So it's just like, moral of the story, I'd rather be 50, or maybe I'd rather be 6. You know, since both numbers are higher than you can count, your audience can't count. This has been well established. You're not worth 6 words. No, you. I love your channel. Angry face. Thank you. Probably. And what better to use as my last brush than... Looks like I wasted 10 minutes. I feel like that's pretty fitting. And would you look at that? I have blocked my face in using hate comments as Photoshop brushes. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest of this. I'll actually remember to record it this time. Anyway, that's quite enough cyberbullying for one day. My ego is just more inflated than ever, actually. If anything, this has just shown me what I already knew, that I am, in fact, the greatest YouTuber on the platform, and that my subscribers are the wittiest, funniest, and not necessarily the nicest. So pretty much they're exactly like me, aka the only kind of people I can tolerate in my life. Basically, I've learned nothing, but I did make this self-portrait, so there is that. Anyway, looks like I've gotten 10 minutes of content out of this, so leave a like, tell me what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and a big thank you to my 110,000 subscribers. Okay, bye.